Hello, everyone. I all hope you had a very beautiful day. I'm just a little bit stressed out with some changes, but either way, I'll be exactly be fine. Anyway, we had to. I hope you all had a very beautiful day and a very great day ahead, and a very very wonderful evening and a very good one. While my evening is just not exactly the same as it was supposed to be, but by tomorrow it will be the same. I hope you won't interrupt any more of my plans since I'm busy planning them as always. But it doesn't matter. That's the way of life. One way or another, I'll be exactly be fine and quietly be good. But despite, never mind that, guys. Anyway, we had to talk about a very powerful former member of the Sacred Circle and a former member of the Founders and a powerful villain, telepathic villain known as Bon, who is a former leader of the Order of Darkness, the organization that I told you all about yesterday, known as the Order of Darkness, a dark organization of dark assassins that I exactly told you about. In Bond's early life, he was a hero in his desert world. He was a very, very popular hero in his desert world. He saved his people from an evil supervillain known as the Noten King. He clashed with him over many centuries. They fought for over many centuries and fought. He and the Noten King suffered heavy injuries when Bond exactly was attacked when using his psychic powers to easily intentionally to weaken the Noten King further. He managed to exactly weaken him further by exactly forcing him to retreat. Bond quietly wandered across the desert planet for centuries to come and for many more centuries to come. Despite that, Bond was very quietly optimistic and very quietly intelligent. He founded the secret society of dark assassins known as the Order of Darkness in his early life, and he started to exactly become its savior and its leader. During at this time, he clashed with the Four Nation Hunters and he clashed with the protectors of the sacred world and of the protectors of the sacred universe. By clashing with them, he managed to exactly seize control of the entire society of the Dark Assassins and also the organizations. By doing so, he hardly became its savior and its leader. While clashing with the Four Nation Hunters and with the protectors and then the sacred protectors, he managed to exactly make a new discovery that the Four Nation Hunters were quietly banned from the desert world and from the desert planet. Bond was a very, very, very reluctant and very persistent superhuman with powers given to him and with psychic powers that he quietly had imbued, used those powers to seize control of his followers and many more of his followers and his people. Throughout the many centuries, when the Dark King reformed and reassembled a group of his that existed for many centuries and for millennia, known as the Founders, the Bond was the third member to be part of his secret society organization known as the Founders. He accepted his invitation and was also quietly accepted into the Sacred Circle's invitation. He joined both societies to see which exactly would be the most powerful and would be the most persistent and would be the most inevitable and functional and insufficient on his cause. During at this time, Bond came to associate himself with other dark witches and other dark druids in order to use their powers to exactly level the playing field and their powers to exactly use them against the universal heroes and against the united heroes. By doing so, he was able to learn the secret identity of the new hero known as Newborn and also the other hero known as Wolfbat. He able to exactly keep the secret identity of those two heroes to himself and with the other secret identity of the other hero known as Eagle Man. Over time, Bond was quietly present at the conference with the founders as the Dark King and Queen Ivy made arrangements to exactly begin with a mission in order to seize control of the planet Earth and with the other worlds by stating that the universal heroes pose a threat to their interests and also to their plans. By doing so, Bond was very quietly confident that they would exactly succeed. He even conveyed with the other members of the Sacred Circle and reassured them that the matter has quietly been happily resolved and that the situation will quietly take place sooner or one way or another. The Sacred Circle was quietly pleased with the results and with the outcoming of the battle and with the outcoming of the war. Over the centuries, over the following centuries and years, Bond was very quietly persistent in his mission. He and his forces attacked the coming summit of the Sacred Nations and of the Sacred Leaders with the help of Mr. X and Mr. Ace, who are the most powerful villains of the world and the most powerful common corrupt politicians of the world, who exactly are members of the secret society of the organization. Mr. Bond tried to tighten his grip on a very cities and on very worlds by using his assassins to exactly attack the peace summit of the sacred leaders and of the other leaders of the world in order to exactly make sure that the peace summit will fall under the control of the world of darkness, and as a beneficiary and as a benefactor known as Mr. X will become the highly benefactor of the organization, which essentially will fall under the control of the founders and of the sacred circle. With the plan quietly coming together slowly in piece by piece, and with the sacred circle quietly controlling half of the country as well as the founders, Bond became quietly reluctant to believe that the universal heroes will not stop with their mission to exactly stop all wars and all battles. After the death of the Lord of Magic, when the other members reconvene in order to discuss the outcome of the Lord of Magic death in the power vacuum that has quietly consumed half of the Shadow Empire and the other Shadow Empire warlords, Bond claimed to contact the other Shadow Empire warlords and told them it's time to move into the next step. The Shadow Empire warlords knew their battle cruisers to attack all the other worlds and all the other villages in order to wage war with the other tribes and other clans, but the Universal Heroes and United Heroes and the World Heroes worked together to stop the attacks and prevented more innocent lives from being lost, at the cost of not exactly knowing who was behind the attack or quietly right behind it and who orchestrated it exactly. Bond kept his existence and his link to the attack out of the way by doing so. The Shadow Empire warlords reported to Bond and told him that the Universal Heroes and the Sacred Leaders are coordinating together and are secretly working together in secret. Bond was very quietly pleased with the results and learning of this information. He hardly dispatched his assassins to do one more last job to get rid of the Universal Heroes and to get rid of the problem, which had exactly lasted over a year. The assassins quietly miserably failed with their hit and with their mission to wipe out the Universal Heroes and the United Heroes, but they all managed to be able to capture them in custody. Some were able to exactly couldn't speak during the psychic link that Bond quietly infused them and quietly tapped them with. By the early stages, the Universal Heroes were able to figure out that Bond was behind all these attacks and all these sinister plots. They were able not to exactly track him down or quietly hide him. Bond quietly remained in his fortress meditating alongside his fellow followers known as Blue Ninja, White Fox, and Black Will, and Dark Hat, able to exactly meditate with his remaining followers after he defected from the organization of the villainous organizations of the Sacred Circle and the founders. He started meditating in peace, and he still kept in touch with the Shadow Empire warlords to find out exactly what was going on with the mission and with the rest of the update, despite that exactly. In more convenient, when the Universal Heroes arrive at his secret base to rescue the abductees and all the other humans who were abducted during the superhuman traffic ring on the outer space that were exactly captured, Bond quietly assisted the Shadow Empire warlords with their abduction in order to make sure that they'll prove a valuable asset and a valuable asset and a very valuable test subject for his never-ending pursuit of peace and liberty, to use them as armies. The Universal Heroes liberated them all off from the island, and they were able to get confirmation that Bond is no longer a member of the Sacred Circle and a member of the Founders, since he quietly left the console and left the entire organization and quietly fully left it. The Universal Heroes were quietly not ready to believe this, but they quietly believed it in their own eyes when Bond confirmed it. Warboy quietly exactly believed him and very quietly first believed him and quietly taken his word, no matter the outcome of this exactly. Despite this, the Universal Heroes do not exactly wage war with Bond or any of his compatriots or any of his followers. The remaining followers remained by his side in order to exactly make sure that the sacred island was heavily guarded and heavily protected. He left the organization the terrorist organization known as God of Darkness under the control of the founders to continue acting at the control of the founders by placing a new leader known as Silverface, who's a supervillain and also an assassin, ruthless and very deadly and very stubborn. Despite this, Bond's intention was to exactly create peace throughout the world and throughout the entire sacred world and throughout the entire sacred universe by moving his operations of extortion, manipulation, and also assassination and killing, and also seizing power and seizing opportunities to wage war and seizing control of the other worlds. Bond would do exactly anything to exactly seize control of peace and to control the peace of the war and the battle of the war, which he quietly left the organization and the founders in search of solace and in search of peace. Despite this, Bond is not exactly ruthless or anything. He's quietly calm and very quietly well fortified and very quietly well checked and very quietly observant of everything. Even despite that, knowing the identities of the two heroes, he did not exactly reveal it to his colleagues or to his other members of the societies or any of the other members of the organization or any of his followers. He kept it to himself, and he kept it as a promise to Universal Man that he would not use it as leverage or as disadvantage against him. Despite all of his attempts to exactly reconquer the planets and all the other worlds and planet Earth and thrusting it into chaos and all civilization, Bond is persistent and quietly heavily ruthless and very quietly relentless, and at all costs he will do whatever it takes to achieve his goals and his mission. He has a superpower known as telepathic mind like a superpower known as telepathic powers in order to capable of reading a mind and capable of seeing through the mind and capable of controlling it. He injected one of his followers with his psychic link in case they tried to rat him out or try to exactly rat out the location of the sacred base or the individual bases. Bond has 6 sacred individual bases across the sacred world and across the world and across planet Earth. Some are hidden through mountains, some are hidden through abandoned towns and cities, others are throughout our random islands. The real central headquarters of the sacred of Bond's sacred headquarters is the sacred island, which is far in sacred sea and far in sacred land on the sacred world ocean, and which is quietly off classified and off top secret, which is a perfect place to exactly hide an organization of dark assassins and also to train them at his very best. Bond trains all his followers and all his assassins with his very best and with his greatest leadership. He controls them, he tells them what to do, they fulfill the mission, they get it done. Blue Ninja is very loyal to Bond, very quietly loyal and very quietly admin to Bond, and very quietly will remain by his side no matter what. White Fox is quietly well trusted of Bond. He'll do whatever it takes to protect him and also to remain by his side, given the fact that he will always exactly be by his side. Dark Whale will always remain by Bond's side because he saved his life numerous times when the Universal Heroes liberated his world and his planets. During the time when the normal magic ruled the entire known universe, Bond liberated him and brought him to his safe patches and brought him to his island for liberation and also for cleansing. Dark will remain loyal to him. And also, last not least, Dark Boy is very quietly adamant and very quietly strong and very quietly fierce of a follower, very heavily skilled in combat and also in swordsmanship, and all thanks to Bond's lessons and teachings when he was one of the assassins, one of the dark assassins and one of the members of the Order of Darkness of the assassins. He's very quietly persistent and very loyal to his master. He will do whatever it takes to protect him and also to secure the base and the home central headquarters. Given this exactly at the state, Bond is very quietly full of care and full of humanity. He will not exactly watch to see the world burn or the watch to see the entire universe burn under the chaos of his enemies or competitors or any other forces of evil. He reconvened with Nebula Bringer and Jack Bringer and told them that the plan is quietly still in place and that the Shadow Empire warlords are at their service, given the fact that he and Nebula Bringer don't exactly have a good common relationship or a very good common ground, but they do share a common goal and a common mission by understanding that together they could easily exactly restore peace and vitality to the world. Bond seeks solace and seeks peace and prosperity throughout the war, which is why he left the war and he left the entire Sacred World's war and the entire Sacred World's conflicts and all of its dodgy business and everything else in search of solace and in search of peace. He highly believes that mankind is looking for a place of peace and a place of humanity and a place where humankind can be at peace and also can be restored to its rightful place in the entire known universe. Despite this, Bonnie is very quietly caring and very quietly intelligent. He cares so much about his followers and his remaining ninjas and all of his followers. Despite this, he's very intelligent and very powerful and very well strategist and very admiring. He convened with the Sacred Circle members and informed them of everything. He tipped them off despite not being on their council, and he also tipped off the founders and told the Dark King that the Universal Heroes have a new sacred team and a new sacred team of superheroes and a new team of other heroes. He remained in contact with them because he trusted them no matter despite his word or despite his entire intentions, and he trusted the Dark King with his word no matter the risk, even if he's not in his council. He's very quietly reassuring and very quietly, very quietly, very secure. Bond is very quietly intelligent, smart, persistent, and also quietly relentless. His psychic powers make him more deadly and make him the more formidable adversary in the entire Sacred World and the entire Sacred Universe. Not even the Four Nation Hunters will go toe to toe with him. The only people capable of going toe to toe with Bond are Universal Man, Eagle Man, Newborn, Wolfbat, and Animal Boy, and all the other heroes. Well, I all hope you have a very beautiful day and a very great day ahead. This was today's video. Stay safe and stay positive always.